friends, I hope you're enjoying this day or night wherever you are in this world. If you're new to the channel, I'm Min. I love to take care and propagate plants and share my plant caring tips on this channel. If you like this kind of content, please hit the likes button, the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos, and also subscribe to the channel. I truly appreciate your support to grow this channel so I can create more videos to help you take care of your plants. Today I'm going to be talking about Aglaonema, otherwise known as Chinese Evergreen. They're such an underrated plant. They are easy to take care of, fantastic as a beginner's plant, and they come in abundant varieties of colors. And Aglaonema come from the tropical rainforests of Indonesia, Malaysia or Thailand. They live on the ground underneath the canopy of the rainforest. I find it's all, when I take a plant home from the nursery, I like to do research on the plant. This gives me an idea of where I can place the plant and to make the plant acclimatize or acclimatize to my household as quickly as possible. So the first tip I have, because these plants live underneath the canopy, so underneath the larger trees in the rainforest, they never get direct sunlight. So it's important to pop these plants in an area that does not receive any direct sunlight, because direct sunlight can actually burn the leaves of the Aglaonema. Aglaonema are tolerant to low light. However, if an Aglaonema is placed in low light, it may not grow as quickly. Also, you might find that over time, the coloring of the leaves may not be as vibrant. So if you do see that, I would recommend you just move the plant to an area that has more indirect sunlight. I place my Aglaonema in this room, so the shelf behind you that you see, it sits in this room. This room has south and west facing window. It's not directly in front of the window, so it never receives direct sunlight. It's approximately about 2 meters away from either window. So it receives a lot of medium to bright indirect sunlight. But the main part is you find that the leaves are burning, just move it away to a lower light. And if you find that if it's in a low light area and the coloring of the leaves are not as vibrant, then I would recommend to move it in an area that receives more indirect sunlight. When it comes to the soil, Aglaonema like their soil to be moist, but also well draining. My soil mixture consists of 50% premium potting mix, 30% orchid mix, and also 20% perlite. I tend to be an overwaterer, so that's why I use the perlite to help to improve the drainage, but the perlite doesn't absorb the water. If you tend to be an underwater, I would recommend you replace the perlite to vermiculite, because vermiculite, it helps to improve the drainage of the soil, but also holds moisture as well. When it comes to fertilizing, Aglaonema are not heavy on fertilizing. Too much fertilizer can actually burn the leaves. And with fertilizing, what I tend to do, if I see my Aglaonemas producing more leaves, it's still growing, then I would use a quarter strength of all-purpose liquid fertilizer when I'm watering the plant. I also find that Aglaonema can be prone to deficiency in copper, and what will happen is if the plant doesn't get enough copper in its fertilizing, the actual tips of the leaves will end up like hooks, so it will hook, and that can be a sign of deficiency in copper. When it comes to humidity, yes, Aglaonema come from the tropical rainforest, so they do appreciate higher humidity. For myself, I haven't had an issue with humidity. If I had an issue with humidity, so if I found that the tips of the leaves start to go brown, that can be an indication of not enough humidity, then I would recommend to group the plants together. Also, popping the plant on a tray of pebble and water will help increase the humidity. When it comes to watering, Aglaonema like their soil to be moist but never soggy. I tend to make sure that my plant is at least a couple of inches dry before I water my Aglaonema again. If the Aglaonema is over water, what will happen is that the leaves can go yellow and brown. So I have example. So this one here, this is an Aglaonema, and what has happened is that one of the leaves has started to go yellow and brown, and that's from overwatering. If the plant is underwatered, what will happen is that the tips of the leaves can go brown. So I have another example here of another Aglaonema that I have, and I accidentally forgot about it, and so the tips of this leaf has gone brown. It's only a little bit, it's okay. I'm going to leave the leaf there until it completely goes more brown, then I'll probably cut it off. And the part with when it comes to temperature, Aglaonema come from the tropical rainforest, so they do appreciate warmer temperatures. Aglaonema thrive between 60 Fahrenheit to about 80 Fahrenheit. So that's roughly around about 15 degrees to approximately 26 degrees. They can be prone to being frostbitten. So if the temperature is too low, the actual leaves can actually wilt. They can also go very looking like glassy, gelatinous. They kind of, if they've been damaged from the cold, it kind of looks like if you place lettuce in the fridge and then the fridge is too cold and the lettuce has actually wilted and it's frozen. So that's kind of what it looks like if an Aglaonema leaf is too cold. So I definitely recommend that placing an Aglaonema away from windows, because with windows, especially at night time, it can get too cold for the plant. Also placing it away from things like drafts or air conditioning, or that area that can be too cold for the plant, and it can end up with frostbite on the leaves. When it comes to propagation, Aglaonema cannot be propagated by tissue culture, so it has to be propagated by the mother plant producing new plants from it, or little pups. So this one here, I have an example of one that has produced a baby plant. So this one here is the mother plant. So this larger one is the mother plant, and it's produced this little one here that has 2 leaves. And I would recommend waiting for the baby plant to grow bigger, and then what it can happen, it can separate the roots and produce another plant from it. So the best way is waiting for the plant to produce its own baby plant, and then just by root division, and the new plant can be placed directly into soil, or if there's not enough roots, it can be placed into water to grow out the roots and then placed into soil. And that's probably why the actual plant is a little bit more expensive for a common plant, because it can't be tissue cultured. The best way is waiting for the mother plant to produce babies. When it comes to pests, I personally haven't had an issue with pests. I think Aglaonema are very pest tolerant, but they can suffer from the 5 main pests, which is the billybugs, the thrips, the scales, and also spider mites and fungus gnats. But for myself, I haven't had a major issue with any pests, and I also haven't had a major issue with fungus. But I suspect if this plant was placed in an area that had extremely high humidity, for example, an area that had more than 80% humidity, and that can be, the leaves can be more prone to fungus. But it's unlikely in the household for the humidity to be that high unless a humidifier is used, or unless you're in an area that is tropical. So that's all my plant caring tips I have for Aglaonema. What are your plant caring tips? I would love to read about it in the comment section down below. If you found value in this video, please hit the likes button, subscribe to the channel so I can create more content about plants to help you take care of your plants, and tips you can share with your friends and family. You all enjoy the rest of your day or night, and I'll catch you guys next time in the next video. Bye!